have you.
Oh, thank you, Kathleen. It's very good to be here, and I'm very excited to see your garden.
Wonderful. Well, we welcome all our viewers today for the second video we've done with Jim, and we're going to look at what we did. Jim advised us on making a little food forest so that all of you out there who have little gardens, or you have like a rooftop, or you have places that you can see that it's actually worth it. It just took, I mean, I had the initial expense, of course, of making the platform, but now for every year I have this platform and I put the best soils in. I mean, you'll see. So what we're gonna do with Jim today is we're gonna show a little bit of what I did, and then we're gonna hear his expertise commenting on it. So let's get started. I'm excited. So tell me what you're doing today.
I'm making a foundation for the food garden.
So exciting. And look at all these bricks coming. It's so much work, but in the end, it's going to be a beautiful food garden. Wonderful. Hi, Cedric. So we're going to have fun here today to prepare with this. What is this called, Cedric? Hydrocorals? Yeah, and these help at the bottom. You put this at the bottom of a garden so that you can, when there's a lot of water, which there is in Holland, a lot of water, that you can drain it. So we're going to put about 3 centimeters worth on this garden. Okay. And this is where the tomatoes will be. And we're putting this also on the bottom of these plants, these boxes. Now we are finished here. Perfectly leveled. Here we have an all organic soil that we're going to put in with no additives. Okay, now we're almost finished. The last 2. Wow. So crazy. So beautiful. Wonderful. Now we just get the top even. We're having fun. This is so fun. Look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, Jim. So I come back and you share with me what you
Wow.
think of that first initial segment.
I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love how you raised it up. And so you took the bare ground level and you raised it up. You put quite a bit of bags of soil in there. I'm guessing that was probably 50, 60 bags.
It was a lot, yeah.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
Right. So for those who have the resources, that's a fantastic way to do it. When you raise up a garden, you're able to sit on the edge of the garden like a seat, and you can harvest right from the garden. So you have the resources, you put the bricks in, you put the base down, you put the soil up, and that's the way to go. I also want to share with people, if you literally don't have the extra, hundreds of dollars or $1,000, you can literally start right in the ground. Now, it's not quite as convenient because instead of sitting on a ledge, you got to kneel on the ground, but you could do the same type of garden with probably 1/10 of the financial expense, or you could even go higher. And some people take the whole edge of their yard and they do these raised beds. So what I want to share is everybody can do this. And that was probably about 30 or 40 square feet, I'm guessing, or, like 10 square meters or something, not even.
Exactly.
Yeah, 5 or 6. So with that amount of square meters, you could have, how many plants do you have in there? Probably 12 to 15 or even more.
Yeah, even more. Like we have so many. I'm going to show you in a minute, but it's quite amazing actually, because we grew food the whole summer. and we just kept replenishing. When one would die, and then we would put another in, and it was all an adventure, but it was so much fun. But we really enjoyed it. I mean, we enjoyed doing it. We enjoyed watching it grow. And the reason that we raised it like that is we live in Holland, and our actual soil is not so good because we live in the middle of Amsterdam, and things are just depleted. I must say. So we felt like I had a whole, like the man that you referred us to, we had a whole discussion. He's from Belgium, and he knew about the Amsterdam soil. So I suppose, like, for all of you listening that live on the top of New York roof, of a roof, I have a friend who did it on a roof and in Amsterdam, and then you get all this new soil. So you grow very healthy plants. But if you have soil that's depleted, you have to think about that when you do that. And if you live in the farmlands, it's probably fine. But where we live here, the soils, we struggle with it. So,
yeah, like I said, there's a lot of benefits to having a raised bed like that. I mean, they're really great. And also, you can also build soil. Like, that's what permaculturists do. You put the right plant combinations in and you build soil. You can also get a truckload of soil. And depending on where you are and how close the nursery is, you can even go, there's a lot of places around that actually have soil for free. A lot of municipalities have soil where you could go, if you've got a truck or some kind of vehicle that can haul soil, and you can go and you can get as much as you want for free. So those resources are available in some places. And if people are really on a tight budget, they can check around, and it's not too hard to find those places.
I think it wasn't too unrealistic, by the way. We went to a garden center, an organic garden, and this man he does it for a living. It's his, he loves to do it, and he brought them to my house, and then he wanted to know that we had enough. So we had exactly enough, Jim. He was so good at calculating it. So, I mean, it really went well. So that first couple of months, we were really having fun. And we also worked with the person you sent us to figure out which plants grow best. But we also had to look at what was available in Holland with us here. So we kind of made, we had an idea and we made a plan, and then we sort of improvised. And I think all of you can do that. But here we'll show you the day that we planted. Let me go there. Here we are. This is so cool. We are planting today all of the plants. We are going to be planting blueberries, lots of herbs, peppers, salad. We have also some raspberries there, and zucchini. That's so exciting. So today is an exciting, beautiful day. Look at this, the birds are chirping. And here we have we're kind of getting the order of the garden. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now we have planted the lettuce. That's so nice. Abby, how is this?
So I'm putting in the blueberries, and it's good to water the plants before you put them in. I hope
that's what you're doing here, right? You're putting them in the water before you put them in the ground. Beautiful. Hello, Johanna. Now Johanna has planted so many things. Flowers. She has planted the raspberries, the chives, the rosemary, the sage. Now she's doing, what is that, Abby, that she's doing now?
That's a rosemary.
That's a rosemary.
And
great.
underneath, Joanna, we see the slender stuff. Yeah.
That's what you're doing now?
Well, I'm just putting in a few seeds. These are these fantastic little climbing plants called laterus. They attract bees for our pollinators.
Okay, and why do we need that?
Because we need bees to pollinate so that we have a good harvest.
Nice.
What do you think?
Nice. Okay, so let's see what we have in this garden. We have a type of lettuce, We have sage. We have garlic and peppers. We have a thyme. We have a rosemary. We have a dill. We have a zucchini back there. It's going to grow very big, I hear. Here we have parsley and a tea, a kind of lemon verbena. And then we have raspberries, chives. And those are flowers, and these are lettuce in the front. So much to look forward to. Okay, Ab, what else do we have in
So
here?
we also have some wonderful geraniums that flower throughout the whole summer, and they attract pollinators, which are so important.
And what is that one in the back? Is
The
that
one
all?
in the back is called Woodleia. It's like one that attracts butterflies. It's a butterfly bush.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
And it has, I think it has white blossom, or what do you think? We'll be
Beautiful.
surprised.
We will have our tomatoes in a few weeks. We have our blueberries here. What are you doing now? This is so fun. You're putting these
Just
sticks
put
in.
some sticks, and then we will make a support
For the plants.
for the plants to grow. And we might need to get bigger sticks. Joanna is putting in a layer of mulch material that will also prevent invasive slugs to enter to our little baby plants. Plus it will trap the moisture inside of the soil that we just put in.
Wow. So it really protects.
Yeah, it protects the soil from drying out and losing nutrition.
Great.
So that's why we're doing this kind of mulching.
So we're really getting far with our food forest here.
Wow. It's absolutely well done. It's perfect. It's so beautiful. The wood chips are an amazing added touch. The pollinator attractors. Have you seen butterflies and bees?
Yes, all summer. All
Isn't
summer.
that-
We had an exceptional summer in the Netherlands, and it was just wonderful. It was
That-
actually like magical, I
Yeah.
will say. It brought life to our garden. So whereas before we just had this garden and it was like the lawn wouldn't, I told you about the soil, the lawn was never that great there, but suddenly there was life back there, and it's just been amazing. I loved it.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And now I was looking in the background too at the lawn and the trees. Do you notice how you've got big trees growing out of that?
Yeah,
Well, that's because there's nutrients in the soil.
yeah.
Big
So
trees
They
need
take
nutrients.
a lot, right? They take a lot. Yeah, that's the
Yes. And so there's an opportunity. You've got an incredible annual bed with some perennials, with the raspberries and blueberries. Now, as those raspberries and blueberries grow, you could transplant them into another place of your lawn, putting some good
Okay.
soil. Yeah. And because you've got an incredible opportunity there to take that, maybe 50% of your lawn and turn that into a perennial food forest. And then you'll have the annuals and the perennials.
That's so fun. I didn't even think of that. That's a blast. Well, I mean, I think that's our next step, right, Joe? Like, this is the first thing, and then you think of plants that will keep growing every year. Because I know we have olive trees now, and they're so that's weird, because in Holland you wouldn't think you can have an olive tree, but we actually do, and they are growing. But that was a couple years ago we got those. But I can imagine with the blueberries and all of that, we could do that as they grow. That's exciting. I'll show you how so our next step is we had to upkeep the garden, because no one talks about that. So I had to learn that also. Here, we'll go there. Hi, Maureen. What are you doing here?
Wow, Kathleen. So a lot of the leaves of the courgette were totally white because it had powdery mildew on it and mildew, and basically that's really bad for the plant, sucking the energy of the plant. I can show you one here. This one is still there. You see that? That's not healthy.
Okay.
And nothing will thrive like this. So basically now I've made a concoction of, or actually I didn't make it. We've made a concoction of baking soda with water, but we've put a bit of oil to get it to stick. But actually, because that doesn't emulsify in water, we put a drop of soap, the most natural soap you can possibly get, and we shake it up and we spray the leaves.
Okay.
But that one I just left to demonstrate.
Okay.
But we basically have to get rid of that one.
Okay.
So we just spray dots.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Firstly, what I did with the tomato plants, I pruned it because there are a lot of suckers. And the suckers, basically, it does what the word says. It sucks the energy out of the plant, and it will basically create another plant on the tomatoes. So that's not needed. You want the tomatoes, you can show them, you have a lot of big, beautiful tomatoes. You want those to thrive, so we remove the suckers, and we remove any leaves that look like it's infected in any way. And I think the tomatoes that you have, could you show all the tomatoes you have, because you have so many? Again, these will thrive because there are not a lot of suckers on the plants, and all the blossoms will then thrive as well. And then moving along, we already did the pruning of the courgette leaves. I would say 90% of the leaves had powdery mildew on them, which is pretty gross. It's like this white powder. Of course, with this weather, going from hot to cold.
In the
all
Netherlands,
spores
in the
and-
Netherlands.
Yeah, it just looked really bad. So unfortunately, a lot of the zucchinis, the young baby zucchinis, were already soft, getting rotten. So we just pruned it and cleaned it up. And that was necessary so it doesn't spread to any of the other plants. And unfortunately, we had to remove a lot of the lettuce. This is what's left of it. But maybe we'll remove that as well, because it started to go to seed, and then the lettuce itself becomes bitter, and no one wants that. It's not nice to eat.
And we pulled some pearl onions out
Oh yes, we did.
to eat tonight.
So yes, so that's nice. But it looks
And this is
empty.
good. Tell about that.
What?
This one you.
Oh right, this is that Maggie plant, which is amazing because your soup tastes so delicious and you don't need that artificial fake stuff with MSG in it. So, you know, it's very nice that it was invented by this Swiss guy called Maggie, but it's no good for the body or for the brain. It's no good. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm just helping Kathleen out.
And we're having so much fun. And this garden is looking much more clean.
It looks a lot emptier, but of course you have to remove the dead things so there'll be new life springing up again.
And we'll plant new things
So-
next week.
Precisely. So
Yay.
it's sort of fun helping Kathleen because, you know, I have my garden too, and yes, I've read a lot and I know a lot, so I can assist Kathleen.
Oh, thanks, Maureen.
You're
And you tell us what you think.
Well, look at all that lettuce. I saw that last picture. There's just a row of thick lettuce. You must have had a lot of salads this summer.
Oh yeah, we had salads and they were all fresh, and we had tomatoes and we had these pearl onions and all the herbs and everything, and the zucchinis, and we had so much. It was unbelievable, and it was just tasted different. Everything tasted differently. It tasted
It's so rich.
Yes, it was like eating if you just taste one of those tomatoes, it's sweet, it's unbelievable, and you're thinking to yourself, gosh, tomatoes should always taste like this.
Yeah.
Or the zucchinis, they're just so crisp, they're so fresh, and all the herbs we had soups the whole time for 6 months. we've had soup out of that Maggie plant.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
think about the value of that. I mean, I don't know if you had a thought about what the value of your harvest was, but within a couple of years, you've still got all the base structure, and your soil is actually getting better with time the way you're doing it because you're not using poisons. So now, within a couple of years, you pay back your whole investment just in the value of the crop, let alone the value of the joy and of the actual nutrient density of the food you're eating.
Exactly. It's so worth it. It's worth it just to be near it, to have experienced it, to have done it. I would encourage anyone listening to try. And if you didn't try this year, do it next year. Just think of it. And it doesn't matter where you live, because I'm in the Netherlands where, we used to say we didn't have any sun. We had a very nice summer, but the year before we didn't have a very nice summer, but still they grow food. So you can grow food everywhere. It's about what you grow. Yeah. So I'll show you our last segment now, which is really fun because we show you what we're eating. And now we're doing the broccoli. We're going to plant it. How exciting. For us, you have a bigger garden. Now we have this little food forest for her. It's quite funny to have everything in a small place, but it is actually possible. So we've gotten some much needed rain. It's in August 17th, I believe. And here are new lettuces growing, our zucchinis. You can see them there. There's a lot growing. We've cleaned this yesterday. All the herbs are growing. And our tomatoes are really sprouting up. And we have cleaned a lot of the leaves off yesterday so that we can give all the attention and the nutrition to the actual fruit of the tomato. So we're moving along. This is so much fun. Now we have our nice tomatoes. Okay, Jim.
Oh, that is so beautiful, Kathleen. I just love what you've done with the whole thing. And how you put the food at the end there, that's where it comes home. That's where people go, oh my gosh, look at that. Because a lot of people have never grown anything in their lives. And to see the joy of it and then the value of it, I'm so glad you did this.
Thank you, Jim. And we are so grateful for all your inspiration. And I think you're doing amazing work. I really love what you're doing in the world, and you're inspired me. You inspired so many who watch my channel, and you inspire people all over the place to have the courage to do this. And I had no experience. Just remember, nothing. I never farmed. I never lived on the farm. I'm a city girl, and if I can do it, believe me, I believe that you guys can all do it. Join us and make your food forest. And well, thank you so much, Jim, for all your help. That's all I can
Thank you, Kathleen. The next step is let's get to the edge of your yard. I saw amazing plants back there. Your soil is great. Of course, we can build it, make it even better, very easily, by the way. So now let's take the edge of your yard and let's put a dozen fruit trees and berry bushes along the edge of your property.
That's a great idea. I'm going to do that next year because we have to wait. Obviously, we're entering in Holland. It can get, some winters are good, and some winters we have frozen. Well, we used to have it more in Holland because they have the ice skaters, right? They used to ice skate along the canals, but we haven't had that too much. But there are winters still that like 3 or 4 weeks can be frozen. So then everything. But would you suggest that we take everything in that we still have? Because I have room.
Oh, if you have room and if you have lighting, then yeah, you could take that stuff in for sure. Now, the blueberries and the raspberries, you don't need to take those in. Those are perennials. They'll come back. But if you want to save some of those other plants, you could definitely extend the life of them.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Jim, thank you for everything. And we wish you the best. And thank you for sharing today.
Oh, thank you. Well, have a great day, everybody. Time to grow food.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.